The early 20th century is when the movie begins. English attorney R.M. Renfield encounters Transylvanian vampire Count Dracula. Renfield sets out to negotiate a land sale with a man in the hopes of making a sizable profit. He eventually befriends the man after discovering that he is none other than the notorious Dracula. Before Van Helsing kills Dracula, these two spend a lot of time together and get to know one another better. Renfield, however, ends up becoming Dracula's familiar, giving him the ability to remain immortal and develop superhuman strength and speed when he feeds bugs, after Renfield shows to be a helpful aid. Renfield later receives some of Dracula's superpowers, which fundamentally alters the course of his life. He is now Dracula's servant and must follow his instructions. Some contemporary hunters eventually appear with the purpose of killing Dracula. After trapping him in a circle, they order Renfield to leave Dracula and add that he still has a life that he can live normally. At this point, Dracula proceeds to take advantage of the confusion, escapes the circle, and immediately kills the exorcist and the hunter. Another hunter then appears and exposes Dracula to sunlight, causing his entire body to burn. He then tells Renfield to intervene and save him. So Renfield transports Dracula to New Orleans, a different city. Just like that, 90 years have passed, and Renfield has grown old and worn out from abusing Dracula and bringing victims to him. Renfield finds a 12-step support group for those in codependent relationships there, and intends to track down the abusive partners of the gang in order to kill them, and offer Dracula the meat without feeling guilty. He hears later in the group conversation about a girl's boyfriend named Mitch, who is a bad guy and cruel to both his girlfriend and her. Renfield makes the decision to apprehend the youngster and deliver him to Dracula. At least he won't be killing defenseless people this way. When Renfield is about to capture Mitch to take him to Dracula, an assassin sent by the rival Lobo crime family arrives and kills Mitch and his pals. Renfield then continues to follow Mitch to a warehouse, where he meets his friends. The assassin attempts to kill Renfield again, but Renfield fights back and easily dispatches him. He then finds out that Mitch took cocaine from this man who was dispatched by mafia boss Teddy Lobo. When Teddy realizes that his assassin has been slain, he immediately begins to flee. While this is happening, Renfield picks up the killer's body and departs. Renfield delivers the corpse to Dracula so that the vampire might consume it. But after taking a mouthful, Dracula continues to spit out the blood. He informs Renfield that this man used to be a pretty horrible person, and that he does not need evil people because he is enraged with Renfield. He informs Renfield that in order to fully recover, he will need to eat from the world's good people. He demands Renfield bring him the bodies of nice people in a furious manner. Dracula makes it extremely apparent to Renfield that he will kill him if he does not immediately deliver him the bodies of nice people. He even scratches Renfield's lip to startle him before applying his own blood to the wound to hasten its recovery. Renfield leaves to bring the blood of righteous people to him. He must seek out a pure and innocent prey this time. Teddy encounters a sobriety roadblock in the interim that is manned by Rebecca Quincy, a second-generation police officer, who arrests Teddy after he throws cocaine bricks at her. Teddy is sprung from jail at the police station by dishonest police officials, and Rebecca gets into a fight with her sister Kate, an FBI agent. Further information reveals that these two sisters have united to battle crime in their city after their father was killed in a shootout with the police. These two sisters, however, do not get along very well because they approach and react with situations in different ways, which is why they are often at odds. Meanwhile, Bella Francesca, Teddy's mother, continues to tell her son what's on her mind. Teddy is a letdown, she informs him, adding that their family is the largest crime family in the city, and he can't even handle the most basic situations. She explains to him that she is concerned for the future of their family, since she does not believe her son is qualified to take over the family business. On the other hand, we next meet Renfield, who is sitting in a cafe and searching for a victim to kill and then deliver the body to Dracula. There is also Rebecca. She arrived there after trying to look into Mitch's case and discovering some hints that directed her to this cafe. When Renfield sees the police present, he decides to put off his search for a bit. Teddy and his men arrive at the location at this point. Rebecca wants to be like her father, he continues, and she believes that she will die a courageous hero's death as her father did, but this is not really the case. Rebecca is informed by him that her father was brutally murdered by his family while pleading for his life. He raises his rifle at Rebecca after telling her that they will treat her similarly. However, Rebecca makes no movement at all. She challenges him to shoot her, but Renfield steps in and protects Rebecca before he can finish her off. When a brawl breaks out, Renfield quickly dispatches of everyone in the room before turning his focus to Teddy, who has already left. Later, Rebecca runs into Renfield to express her gratitude for saving so many lives. He feels pretty fantastic because everyone else continues to thank him. Then, Renfield returns to Dracula, who appears to be doing much better. He continues by telling Renfield that he feels much better now, and that he has made up his mind to wipe out all of this world's positive deeds. He continues by saying that under his leadership, all of humanity's good deeds will just disappear. The people who attempt to do good for humanity will become his food, he continues, and there will only be his followers. Renfield disagrees with what Dracula just said because he still believes in mankind, and has made the decision that he will not allow humanity to perish abruptly. He then meets with his group, where everyone discusses their issues. He explains to them that his employer desires world dominance and that he has a boss. They advise him not to pay the boss any attention and tell him that the boss sounds insane. He is advised by another individual to avoid his boss and concentrate solely on himself. The man continues by saying that the boss will become weaker if he pays this man no attention, while Renfield would grow stronger since all of his focus will be on him. Renfield heeds this counsel and has since stopped visiting Dracula. Then he proceeds to buy a nice house for himself, further beautify it, and take care of his own appearance. He visits Rebecca, whose company he has grown to appreciate. He compliments her on her bravery and offers his assistance whenever she requires it. He counsels her to never give up, since courageous and upright people like her serve as a beacon of hope for others. However, after watching the CCTV tape of the cafe where the altercation occurred, Teddy's mother expresses her disappointment in him once more to Teddy. She sees Renfield in the video and tells her son she wants him killed immediately. Teddy is dispatched by her to find Renfield. He continues to track Renfield and eventually makes it to Dracula's lair, where he finds him alone. After killing all of Teddy's soldiers, Dracula takes Teddy by the collar. Dracula is informed by Teddy that they both appear to enjoy wicked things before he tells him about Renfield. He claims that Renfield is currently engaging in good activities and that he has been assisting the defenseless people worldwide, which is obviously against Dracula's regulations. The two resolve to join forces, but Renfield has decided to live independently of his master after heeding the advice of his self-help group. Renfield sets up an apartment, adopts a cooperative attitude, and provides a statement to the police to aid them in their attempt to eventually apprehend the Lobos family. Renfield informs Dracula that he has made up his decision when he visits him in a furious mood. He won't continue to assist Dracula. He tells Dracula that he's had it with the miserable life and that he's going to change for the better and live a nice life from this point forward. Renfield accuses Dracula of tricking him by bestowing powers on him and elevating him to the position of servant. Then Dracula continues by telling him that he is mistaken. Renfield, he continues, was always a nasty man who aspired to greatness by amassing large sums of money. That is the precise reason he, too, left his wife. Renfield is warned by Dracula that the consequences of his treachery would be severe, and that he will have a miserable life. Dracula continues by saying that he will make Renfield's loved ones suffer before killing them all. Even after learning about the support group, he decides to eliminate its members despite the fact that Renfield genuinely cares about them all. Renfield also knows that his support group is in danger, so he rushes up to them and orders them to leave immediately. He arrives too late, however, as Dracula has already arrived and is far too strong. He eliminates each participant in the support group. When Renfield witnesses so many decent and innocent people dying only as a result of him, he is heartbroken. However, Dracula informs him that there will be much more to come, and adds that this is only the beginning before departing. Rebecca arrives as well, although she has no idea what is happening. She ultimately arrests Renfield because she believes he is the one who killed everyone there. However, Rebecca's companion is a dishonest policeman who has worked for the Lobos family. He then immediately calls Teddy and his mother to inform them that they have located the wanted criminal. They summon them to the police station and let them know that Renfield is available for their taking and disposal. However, Rebecca is unwilling to abandon Renfield because she is familiar with Teddy and his family. Even when they offer her a promotion and a sizable sum of money, she ignores the advice of all her senior officers to deliver Renfield to the Lobos family. She departs the area with Renfield. The police department now views Rebecca as a criminal as well, and they are told to shoot them on sight. The following morning, when she awakens, she is in Renfield's apartment, where he chooses to tell her the truth about who he really is. She doesn't trust anything he says about Dracula or what he did to him. At this point, her sister Kate calls to inform her that they have recovered a pen from the crime scene, and the blood on the pen matches Renfield's DNA. She informs Rebecca that he has been performing these tasks for an unknown number of years and adds that he is eternal. On the other side, Dracula continues on and sees Teddy and his mother. They choose to collaborate. Then Bella Francesca sends some of her men to track down Rebecca and Renfield and kill them. But Renfield eats some bugs and immediately uses his powers. Renfield continues by telling Rebecca that he once loved his family, but that they abandoned him as a result of his sins, and that he now lives with constant guilt. He explains to her that he cannot hold Dracula accountable for all that occurred because he was also somewhat responsible for everything. Then Bella calls Rebecca to inform her that she has abducted Kate, and that Rebecca should go with Renfield if she wants to see her sister alive. When they arrive, Bella takes Rebecca to meet Dracula, and Teddy and Renfield begin to argue. Dracula has bestowed some abilities on Teddy. Renfield initially has the advantage in the fight, but as he begins to wane, Teddy takes control. Dracula then proceeds to show Rebecca a nearly unconscious Kate and commands her to work for him. He claims that he can provide her special abilities so that she can possibly exact revenge on her father. Renfield continues to devour bugs while waiting for his powers to return. Teddy is finished off, and he moves on to Rebecca. By seeming to concur, Rebecca then deceives Dracula into being injured by exposing him to sunlight. She then proceeds to open the curtains, causing him to flee the room. He succeeds in entering a dim space where he finds Renfield and kills him. But as Rebecca fires at his foot, his blood splashes onto Renfield, bringing Renfield back to life. They are now attempting to murder Dracula by encircling him in a magical circle. After becoming trapped in the magical circle, Dracula is destroyed by Renfield and Rebecca. They split up the remains of his corpse into pieces of concrete and disperse them throughout the water system, collecting his healing blood in the process, making it extremely difficult for the vampire to rebuild his body, or at the least, finally killing him. After healing Kate, who subsequently helped Rebecca and Bella arrest Bella, Renfield revives his self-help group mates, feeling inspired to start over and build a new life for himself. The movie concludes in this manner. For more content like this, subscribe. To support the channel, enable the notification and leave a like. I appreciate your attention.